Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for Salzburg versus Chelsea review. A 2-1 win in Austria. It guarantees us qualification from this group. We top the group regardless of if we lose against Zagreb on the last game, which is a dead rubber. AC Milan can't go in front of us with 2 wins because of that head-to-head rule. We beaten them obviously in both games. So beautiful, bellissimo, wonderful. Absolutely fantastic, and it was 2 absolute golazos from Kova and Kai. We needed it in the times that it was given to us, and both strikes were immense. Similar zones, both of them left-footed, top corner. Kai's was just better because of the way it crashed off that bar. It was wonderful, and to be honest, it's what was deserved because we dominated this game. You know, yes, Salzburg got a little bit themselves into it in the second half and they caused us problems, but for most of the game I felt like we deserved to win. We deserved to win by more goals. We should have peppered them 3-4-5-1 easily. Should have peppered them. And let's start with the beginning of the game because the lineups came out. People were like, yeah, I don't really know if I really like the team. I personally thought in my head 3-3-3-1. You know, similar to what it was in the home game against Salzburg where we drew 1-1. Sterling was pushed high up the field, Reece James, and I thought, you know, Pulisic will be playing a similar role as wingers. You got the 3 at the back, you got 3 in midfield with Gallagher, Jorginho and Kova, which I think was a pretty balanced midfield in terms of all of the different traits and attributes that they bring. And then you've got the 2 wingers pushed up alongside Kai in the free role and Aubameyang up top. And I thought that was pretty aggressive, pretty, pretty good from Potter. I was actually all right with it. And opening stages of the game, everybody wasn't really at it. You know, I thought Pulisic was definitely our best player in the first opening exchanges of the match. You know, he was the one taking players on. He was the one trying to dribble, trying to drive at players, trying to cause problems, trying to disturb defensive shape. You know, Sterling, Aubameyang didn't really get themselves into it yet. There was some loose touches here and there. I felt like I didn't really see Kai as well from the beginning. It was kind of like just kind of going through it. So Pulisic for me was the guy in the attack in the first 10-15 minutes that was really driving at the defense, really causing problems. And he did it on both flanks. You know, they swapped flanks and it was good to see. Sterling sometimes would go on right wing, Pulisic would go left wing. I personally think Pulisic would be better at left wing on more occasions. You know, out of 10. If you're going to say what are you more likely to get a good performance, I think you'll get more from Pulisic on the left. He was driving at players on the left, trying to cause problems, and he did the same on the right, to be fair to him as well. But as the half went on, the players grew into the game. I started to see more Kovacic. He was instrumental in why we were so good in that first half, particularly after the first 20 minutes, because he was involved in everything. You know, we had some really good moments in this match where we played some wonderful football. We carved out some excellent opportunities, and it was down to him a lot of the time because he was right in the middle with every single move. You know, Kai was starting to get more involved, some really good touches, some good passes. Sterling getting more involved, good touches, good passes, setting up chances. Jorginho starting to begin moves and start them off. Mostly, and Aubameyang as well, and the end of them, which we're going to get to. Those players that I mentioned were kind of like becoming the epicenter of all of the good things that were happening as the half went on. Gallagher and Pulisic were kind of giving us that balance on the right hand side, and maybe it could make those late runs off the ball. But those guys on the left were starting to get some chemistry, get some understanding, lovely little 1-2 give and goes, chances being created, great football being played. It was really good the way we transitioned and countered. That was like one of the first times in a long time I saw a great Chelsea counter-attack where Jorginho slips it into Sterling. I thought Sterling at times today was really good at holding the ball back to goal and handling it in a tight space. He did that a numerous amount of times. Popping it off to Kova, slides it into Kai, and I'm thinking, Kai, please, focus. Make sure you pick the time, pick the pass at the perfect moment. He does, plays it into Aubameyang. It's a great assist. But Aubameyang, with the finishing today, was just not at it. And it was what happened all match. Aubameyang had so many big chances. You know, when this team don't create chances, I get worried because I'm like, that's not sustainable. But today, we created loads of chances. Salzburg were there for the taking. Aubameyang had so many opportunities. That one straight at the goalkeeper, and a few more as well. But I thought that was one of the best chances. Kind of, yeah, keeper made himself big, but you got to put that away if you're Aubameyang. That's what your bread and butter is. Kai, great decision making. Everybody in that move deserved the goal, but wasn't taken, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, I felt like the left-hand side it was causing a lot of aggro for them. Cucurella in this game was okay. You know, I don't really involve him in that left-hand side in terms of the good performance because I don't really feel like he had a strong match. I felt like he was decent in spells, but then at other times he was frustrating, and even on the goal, we'll talk about that later on as well. So it was mainly the players I mentioned, but Gallagher was good. You know, I've spoken about Pulisic causing problems, driving with the ball, getting the assist. We're going to get to with the second goal later on, but also Gallagher was good. He played a good role today because we didn't really have a right back. You know, Trevor was playing right side centre back in a 3, but you also had to cover out wide. We didn't really have you didn't really have anybody out there to say traditionally there was no Aspilicueta, but Gallagher on that right hand side, he gave the team balance. And also he was whipping in some great crosses, and he put in a wonderful cross a few times, one notably for Kai, and he should be scoring that. You know, that header from Kai, he's tall, he's got a big frame, he gets a good clean clean header. He rises above the defender, he does everything right apart from the accuracy and the direction. He doesn't direct it into any of the corners, he doesn't pick his corners. And yeah, great opportunity. He had a few chances. When you add them up for Kai today, he like I said, he got better as the game went on. He started to create more chances. He was really good in that aspect. And we're going to get to his goal in a minute. But he could have more goals. He could have more goals. But Aubameyang today is the one where really you expect more goals from him because he had some insane opportunities that he didn't take. So yeah, it was insane on that front. But you have to credit as well on the goal that we did score. You know, like I said, Pulisic and Kai kind of pressing off the ball, giving us the work rate, forcing the defenders into a mistake. None of them really get the assist because it kind of just barrier bumbles over to Kova, and Kova just lashes it with his left foot. It's a clean ass strike into the top corner. It's a wonderful strike, very unexpected, but very needed because we need to take advantage of the opportunities where we're leading the game and where we're dominating. But like I said, Kova deserved that goal because I felt like he was the epicenter to all of the good play that was happening. He pulled out to the left a lot today. Like I said, 3-man midfield, Gallagher more on the right. But obviously when the ball's on the left hand side, everybody kind of just shuffles across. Gallagher will come more central. Kova was on the right, so on the left. And kind of sometimes even on the left wing, just really wide, dribbling, you know, progressing the ball, linking up the play, connecting the dots, and just being very, very important. And I'm glad he came off early as well because he managed to get his rest because he's going to be pivotal against Brighton. Mason didn't start today. I thought that was good from Potter. He started every single game under Potter, along with Kepa. He gets his rest. He should be fresh for Brighton. So we were able to rest some key players today, which is good to see as well. But yeah, I thought Kova was immense in that midfield. Really, really good. And then moving on, like I said, with the crossing from Gallagher, he had a couple really good crosses on that right hand side. I thought he was tidy today. Trevor, we have to mention Trevor Chalobah because with all of these great goals, and like I said, I'm going to absolutely wax lyrical about Kai's goal in a minute because I was so happy to see that crash in. But Trevor Chalobah today was so good. He's so good, man. You know, he's going jockeying with defenders down the right, getting them absolutely tied up in a bundle and wrapping them up and putting them to the side. Just so composed, so relaxed, so mature, just a very good performance. You can see that the guy is playing at his peak at the moment. And we did, you know, on the watch along, they were asking the question, will you bring in Fofana maybe if he's back fit? You know, what happens there? For me, you have to leave Trevor in this team. I don't think Fofana is this kind of player where he's just so untouchable, where you, even with the money spent, that you can't bench him. I think Trevor, on that right side centre-back spot, is playing out of his skin. His record continues. And for me, you know, he's unbelievable. In the last few games, he's been our best defender. So I think you've got to absolutely keep him. And yeah, power to him, man, because he's unbelievable at the moment. And it's good to see the development and kick on from last season where he had a bit of a rough patch. Even 1v1 today, he was very good. You know, he was handling his business, man. So Trevor deserves a very special mention in the video. I thought he was brilliant back there. We're going to talk about Kepa in a minute because as the game kind of winded down, he started to have his moments. And we'll talk about the goal as well. Obviously, you know, like I said, there was some really good bits of play in that first half. Aubameyang had a lovely back flick that went to Kai, I think, and he had a shot that was I think kind of you know, strangled by the goalkeeper, if you want to use that word. He kind of just like closed down the space too much. Aubameyang as well was offside for Sterling. I think it was a Sterling pass in between the lines, and Aubameyang just, you know, Kai was offside and Aubameyang was onside, but he couldn't quite get to the ball. That was another really good bit of team play that was fashioned out there. Sterling plays a really lovely pass in the second half as well. In behind for Kai, wonderful pass, brilliant weight on it. Kai, lovely cut back. Pulisic, unfortunately, you know, just miskicks it. And then Gallagher has a stab at it as well and it's saved, so it was blocked. So we just had so many chances, guys. Like, I had to write them down with my nerd notes. Do you know what I'm saying? We just, so many chances. We must have had in that game about 5, 6, 7, 8 big chances, like big ones. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was insane. And then of course we move on, you know, to the next goal, and that's a wonderful shot from Kai. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's individual brilliance. You know, Pulisic has a hand in it as well, so credit to him, because I thought his game deserved that. But as soon as Kai picked up the ball in that area and I saw he was going to shoot, I said, great, this is brilliant. I've been wanting you to shoot from distance a lot more. You scored that great goal for Germany against England. I want you to shoot. Even if it doesn't go in, even if it, you know, gets saved or it's unlucky, hits the bar, who cares? Just get the shot off and let's see you hit the ball from distance more. And when it went in, I was actually speechless. Like, my jaw dropped. I just sat there in silence for a good minute or two, because I couldn't believe that the ball just was rifled in with such venom, you know, because a lot of the complaints has been like, Kai hit the ball with more power. You know, there was another shot earlier on where it was hit a bit softly and he could have scored there as well. This one was a rocket. An absolute rocket, and it was needed because Salzburg started the second half a lot stronger. They looked like they were causing problems and they were starting to give us issues. And obviously they got the goal as well. Obviously I was just too excited to talk about Kai's goal there, so I skipped the Salzburg goal, but we had to get that to take back the lead. And obviously for the goal, Kova's giving it away, then it's a transition. It felt very similar to the goal that we conceded against Dinamo Zagreb, where they were just kind of running behind on a mad transition. Could Cucurella have played him offside instead of just kind of keeping up with him and then keeping him onside, but then not engaging and intercepting the ball? To be fair, it's a great assist. It's an incredible pass. Kepa, is there question marks on him? Could he have saved it? Is his save selection always the best? Instead of diving down to his right, first of all, the proximity is very close, so I'm not saying that this is Kepa's fault, but could he have saved it with his legs? You know, could he have maybe, I haven't seen it on replay yet, could he have saved it with his legs instead of going down? Because I think sometimes when you go down as a goalkeeper and you try to save it with your hand when it's quite low, it takes longer to get down there, it takes some seconds. Whereas if you save it with your leg, some of the greatest goalkeepers really were great with their feet, that maybe could have been an option, but it is what it is. It was disappointing to concede, but I was glad we conceded then and not later on in the half, because it gave us more than enough time. We had a good 40, 35 minutes, whatever it was, to regain our focus and go again. And like I said, the Kai goal is just incredible. I thought Kai's performance deserved that because, like I said, he was involved in a lot of good things in that first half down the left-hand side with the build-up and the chances created. Yes, he could have scored more goals. Yes, at times he would have been like, a bit frustrated. There was a minute and 5 minutes where Sterling did really well to trap the ball, sucker it in, and then kind of release it. And then a couple minutes later, Kai got it and then just got bodied off the ball again and was dispossessed. There was moments where, you know, you want more, but that's a good start. I think that's a good step for a lot of players. Kai Havertz, great step into recovering and having some form, hopefully. Pulisic, very good step into maybe playing more matches. Sterling, good step. Only really Aubameyang, you could say, comes away from that game frustrated, like, I didn't get my goal, and he should have. And obviously the substitutions start to kick in. Broja comes on, Loftus-Cheek comes on. You've got Ziyech coming on as well, Mason Mount coming on. So that's great for them. They get some minutes under their belt. But yeah, just I think for me personally, that game towards the end, before I wrap up, Kepa obviously was really shaky on cross collection. He was causing a lot of problems. I think he's got to know his limits. Obviously, he's very confident right now, so he feels like he can do everything. But he was very, very poor on cross collection towards the end of that game. And there was moments where, you know, you think, are you really going to beat Sesko in the air? Probably not. You know, you've got to just kind of rein it in and hope that your defenders deal with it, because you're not the most imposing goalkeeper. We know this from a cross collection standpoint. He's not one of the biggest, baddest, and the best in the business from set pieces to come and, you know, take out everybody. There was moments where he did, and he made some good punches and whatnot, but it wasn't consistent, and it was worrying. So, but in the end, good win, very important win. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below who your man of the match is. I'm not going to even pick one. I'm going to let you decide. I'm just happy and impressed with a lot of performances, whether it's Kova, Kai improving, Pulisic improving. I'm impressed with Trevor. I'm impressed with quite a few performances. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace.